Happy Thanksgiving. While we're all celebrating the story of the Pilgrims landing in Massachusetts Bay Colony, I'd like to offer a little perspective on the role of immigration from Britain to the United States in the 1600s and how it set up the basis for the American Civil War. I think you'll find this fascinating. In 1640, there was a revolution in Britain. And by 1650, after it had been going on for 10 years, the King of England, Charles I, was beheaded, and Oliver Cromwell was installed in power as head of a Reformation Parliament of Puritans. So when that happened, and that war was beginning, and the agitation was starting for it, the defenders of the royalty, who were called Cavaliers, left Britain. A lot of them emigrated because they were scared to death of the changes that were taking place in Britain and were worried that their neck would be next. So they left Britain in the early years of the 17th century, 1610s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. And they went to Jamestown, which was the major colony at that point, that had the first colony that was started in the New World. Then the balance shifted back. And in 1660, Charles II was restored to the throne of Britain, and it was the Puritans' turn to get out of Britain, one step ahead of the executioner, and their turn to be fearful that they would be suppressed. So they got on the Mayflower and sailed it to Plymouth Bay Colony in Massachusetts. And the emigration that took place toward the end of the 17th century, 1660s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, was largely the Puritans, the Pilgrims, who were migrating to Massachusetts. And they were called the Roundheads. The Cavaliers were the Royalists, the Roundheads were the Puritans. And then these two colonies developed completely differently. One of them, the Cavaliers, like the Royalists who they were, became a class-dominated society with an aristocracy and slavery and the landed gentry. And the other, in New England, became hard-working Yankee industrialist farmers or craftsmen or small-scale industrialists. And they really developed entirely differently, with the egalitarian democratic model in the North and the plantation aristocratic class-dominated model in the South. And those continued over the years. They were part of the battle lines of the American Revolution, of the Tories of the Loyalists against the Patriots, the Tories against the Patriots, and then it completely burst forth in the American Civil War, where that class-dominated system of the South went up against the egalitarian system of the North from 1861 to 1865. But the American Civil War was really just the English Civil War of 200 years before, transplanted onto American soil and finally adjudicated. This is a theory I've been working on for some time, and independently, Kevin Phillips wrote a wonderful book called The Cousins' Wars, linking these three struggles. And I think it's absolutely fascinating. New way to look at Mayflower, new way to look at Thanksgiving, new way to look at our Civil War. Thanks a lot for watching.